There's a universal truth all cat owners eventually come to realize, a silent agreement whispered among those who share their lives with these enigmatic creatures. You don't own a cat, you simply believe you do. You're just a tenant in their house, a guest privileged enough to share their domain. My cat, Penelope, is the landlord, and a particularly demanding one at that. The matriarch, the head of this household, and the boss of everything. From the highest shelf to the smallest crumb, nothing escapes her notice. I thought I was adopting a cuddly companion, a furry friend to share quiet evenings with. Instead, I got a four-legged mother with opinions louder than my own mom's, and a will of iron wrapped in a soft, purring package. She manages my life with a stare that could curdle milk, a meow that conveys a range of emotions from mild annoyance to outright fury, and a schedule that's definitely not mine, but one I'm expected to adhere to with military precision. She doesn't pay rent, of course, why would she? But she rules the household. Every nook and cranny is under her watchful gaze. My diet, which is constantly under review, my sleep, a precious commodity often sacrificed at the altar of feline whim, my every move analyzed and judged with the discerning eye of a seasoned critic. I'm her loyal, slightly confused subject, forever trying to decipher the nuances of her royal decrees. It started with a few pointed stares, a gentle nudge here and there, and those deceptively cute, demanding meows. I thought it was cute, a sign of affection. I was so wrong. That was the start of her meticulously planned takeover, the first step in establishing her feline empire. My schedule became her schedule, dictated by feeding times, nap times, and playtime, all on her terms, of course. My space, her space. Eventually, it all became her space. My weekends? Forget sleeping in. Those are prime cuddle and playtime hours, according to Penelope's internal clock. She's a lifestyle guru, dispensing wisdom through purrs and headbutts, a drill sergeant enforcing her rules with unwavering determination, and a disappointed parent, always ready with a withering look if I dare to deviate from her prescribed way of life, all in one perfectly formed furry package. So, welcome to life under feline management. Prepare to be judged, pampered, and utterly controlled. This is how a 7-pound tabby with the heart of a lion and the cunning of a seasoned politician took over my entire existence. It's a tale of lost sleep, and the constant battle against the tyranny of the morning meow, judged meals where every bite is scrutinized with the intensity of a Michelin star inspector, and zero privacy, because apparently bathroom breaks are a spectator sport in the feline world. I'm bossed around, herded like a sheep, and occasionally scolded with a flick of the tail and a disapproving glare, by a cat who thinks my main job is to open cans of tuna-flavored delicacies and provide a warm lap for her royal naps. But beneath all the tyranny, the demanding meows and the constant surveillance, there's something else, a flicker of genuine affection. We'll get to that, the moments of unexpected tenderness. First, let's talk about mornings, the daily ritual of feline-led chaos, or, as Penelope calls them, Operation Get the Big Idiot Out of Bed, a mission she undertakes with unwavering enthusiasm, because in her world, the day starts on her terms, precisely at 5 a.m., whether I like it or not, and I'm just along for the ride, a bleary-eyed passenger in the Penelope Express. Let's begin, shall we? Brace yourselves, it's going to be a wild ride. My day doesn't start with a gentle alarm, the kind that gradually coaxes you from slumber with soothing melodies or nature sounds. No, it starts at 6 a.m. sharp, without fail, with a paw, or sometimes two, directly to the face. There's no easing into the day when Penelope is involved. Penelope's wake-up call begins innocently enough as a polite tap, a gentle reminder that I exist and that breakfast time is imminent. But that politeness is fleeting. It quickly escalates to firm slaps, delivered with increasing intensity if I have the audacity to ignore her initial, more subtle advances. If, in a desperate attempt to prolong my sleep, I hide under the covers, thinking I can create a barrier between myself and her insistent paws, she'll escalate the situation further. She'll knock my phone off the nightstand, her ultimate power move, a declaration of war on my peaceful slumber. The sound of it crashing to the floor is usually enough to send me scrambling. Nothing, and I mean nothing, gets you out of bed faster than the immediate and very real threat of a broken phone. It's a highly effective, albeit somewhat aggressive method of ensuring punctuality. Once I'm finally up, bleary-eyed and defeated, she immediately sits on my chest, all 10 pounds of her, staring with the unwavering intensity of a drill sergeant inspecting a new recruit. There's no warmth, no affection, just pure unadulterated demand. Her purr isn't the soothing, comforting sound it's meant to be, it's a demand, a low rumble that translates to, "Get to the kitchen, now, my bowl awaits." There's absolutely no morning cuddle, no gentle petting, just a singular, unwavering mission to get her fed as quickly as humanly possible. I sometimes wonder, in moments of fleeting rebellion, what would happen if I refused, if I dared to defy her morning ritual, but honestly I'm far too scared to actually try. The consequences are simply too dire to contemplate. The walk to the kitchen isn't a leisurely stroll, it's a parade, a carefully orchestrated procession led by a very demanding feline. She leads the way, tail held high like a triumphant banner, glancing back every few steps to make absolutely sure that I'm following, that I haven't dared to deviate from the prescribed route. And, just to add an extra layer of challenge to the already precarious journey, she weaves between my legs, a furry little obstacle course designed to test my balance and coordination. She nearly trips me every single time. I strongly suspect it's entirely intentional, a calculated move to assert her dominance and keep me on my toes. She's the general, barking orders and setting the pace, and I'm the clumsy, sleep-deprived foot soldier, struggling to keep up and avoid a catastrophic fall. The day, without exception, begins entirely on her terms, dictated by her whims and her insatiable appetite. Breakfast isn't just a simple meal, it's a meticulously staged performance, a culinary ballet of sorts. And I, much to my chagrin, am always relegated to the role of the opening act, setting the stage for the main event. Penelope's breakfast. There's absolutely no snooze button, no possibility of hitting pause on a cat. Once she's decided it's time to eat, the clock is ticking. Resistance, as I've learned time and time again, is utterly futile. It only prolongs the inevitable and makes the entire process even more unpleasant. She's unequivocally in charge, the queen of the household, and I am acutely aware of my place in her meticulously ordered kingdom. The only semblance of control I possess in this entire morning ritual is how quickly I manage to fill her food bowl. Speed and efficiency are key to maintaining a modicum of peace. So that's life with a feline alarm clock, a furry little dictator who rules the roost with an iron paw, and the truly terrifying part, it's only 6:05 a.m., the day has barely begun. Welcome to my morning, a daily reminder that I am but a humble servant in the house of Penelope. In the kitchen, Penelope's next role begins, food critic. I serve her gourmet pâté, and she inspects it like a Michelin judge, sniff, circle, look of disappointment. She eats only after making it clear she's doing me a favor. Then she turns her attention to my breakfast, judging my cereal or toast with a single disapproving marrow. Even my coffee is scrutinized. She'd prefer I switch to chamomile. After all the drama, she devours her food anyway. It's all part of her daily performance, high standards, theatrical disdain, and a clean bowl. Life with a mom cat means every meal is an audition. Let's pause. I know I'm not alone in this. Fellow cat servants. What's the most mom thing your cat does? Herd you to bed, judge your snacks, supervise your laundry, share your stories in the comments. Let's compare notes and laugh at our shared fate. We're a strange club, but I wouldn't trade it, except maybe for bathroom privacy. Subscribe for more Mom Cat Chronicles. Penelope has opinions on everything, and I'm just trying to keep up. Now, if you'll excuse me, the queen is calling. Break's over. Penelope is not quiet, not by any stretch of the imagination. She's a chatty cat, a regular chatterbox, always ready to voice her opinions on matters big and small. She has a whole language of meows, trills, and sighs, a complex system of communication that she's perfected over the years. It's a symphony of feline expression, each one loaded with judgment, dripping with feline disdain, or perhaps, on rare occasions, a hint of approval. You can always tell what she's thinking. If I'm on the phone, trying to have a serious conversation, she chimes in, adding her 2 cents whether I want her to or not, as if correcting my conversation, offering helpful suggestions, or simply letting everyone know that she's the real star of the show. Tell her to get off the counter? A simple request, one might think. She stretches out defiantly, as if to say, this is my counter now, and I shall reign supreme. Meowing back with pure sass, a vocal declaration of her counter-claiming rights. It's a battle of wills, and she rarely loses. If I scold her for clawing the sofa, a perfectly reasonable request, I believe, she gives me a long, challenging meow, a drawn-out, theatrical protest against my audacity. Who do you think you are? Her eyes seem to say, daring me to question her authority. Sometimes, she just stares at me, with an intensity that could melt glaciers, then sighs, a deep, world-weary sigh. And I feel like a disappointment, a profound failure as a human being, though I have no idea why. What have I done to displease the queen? I talk back, explaining myself, justifying my actions, as if she's a roommate, a therapist, or perhaps a particularly demanding landlord. Yes, I'm having another biscuit, Penelope, don't judge me. It's been a long day, a truly trying day, and I deserve this small indulgence. Our dialogue is constant, a never-ending stream of one-sided conversations and judgmental stares, even if only one of us understands it. Or at least, only one of us is willing to admit it. But it feels like she's keeping tabs on me, monitoring my every move, making sure I'm okay, or at least making sure I'm not doing anything too ridiculous. Her methods are abrasive, often involving sharp claws and louder meows, but her concern is real, I think. She's not just a pet, she's far more than that. She's a full-time supervisor, a furry little manager with a very specific agenda. And I'm always under review, constantly being assessed and judged by her discerning gaze. That's life with a sassy feline overlord, a life filled with meows, judgment, and the occasional purr of approval. In Penelope's kingdom, privacy doesn't exist. The bathroom door must stay open, always. If I close it, she scratches and cries like I've abandoned her forever. The guilt is real. I always give in. Once inside, she becomes my bodyguard, sitting alert, inspecting the tub, guarding me from invisible threats. Even a quick hand wash requires her supervision. Showers? She sits on the bath mat, watching the door like a tiny security chief. I've given up on private moments. My bathroom is now a shared command center. It's weird, intrusive, and non-negotiable. In her mind, she's protecting her oversized, clueless child from bathroom dangers. Penelope manages bedtime with military precision. Around 10:30 p.m. she blocks the TV, signaling it's time for sleep. If I ignore her, she herds me to the bedroom, circling my feet until I give in. She waits for me to get under the covers, then hops up, circles the pillow, and curls up beside me. Her purr is my goodnight signal. If I toss and turn, she gently paws my arm, a reminder to settle down. If I have a nightmare, she presses close, purring comfort. She's not just sharing my bed, she's managing my sleep. My tiny furry dream guardian is always on duty, and at 6 a.m. it all starts again. For a long time I thought Penelope's bossiness was just a funny quirk, but one rough day, she skipped her usual demands and quietly curled up beside me, purring softly. That's when I realized, her routines aren't about control, they're about care. The wake-up calls, the bathroom patrol, the bedtime herding. It's all her way of looking after me. She's not a tyrant, she's a guardian. Her bossy, micromanaging ways are expressions of love. She imposes order, ensures routine, and reminds me to take care of myself. She's the steady heartbeat in my chaotic life. She's still bossy, but now I know I'm cherished, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So that's my life, managed by a 7-pound tabby with a mother's heart. From dawn to bedtime, I'm under her watchful eye, and honestly, I love it. Love comes in many forms. A paw to the face, a judgmental stare, a bathroom bodyguard. I know I'm not alone. There are thousands of us ruled by our feline overlords. Share your mom cat chronicles. How does your cat run your life? Let's celebrate the weird, wonderful ways our cats show affection. They're not just pets, they're tiny parents we never knew we needed. So here's to the alarm clocks with claws, the food critics, the bathroom guardians, and the bedtime police. They own our homes, our schedules, and our hearts. And for that, we're eternally grateful.